What it do? The Hot Pass Podcast. And I got to say, shout out to you. Shout out to you for showing support on the Hot Pass Podcast. You know, every Tuesday and Friday when the full NASCAR season is going on. And right now we just have it on the Fridays. But the Clash is coming up after this weekend. The weekend after is the Clash. And I'm so excited. Am I right on that? I'm fairly certain I'm right. Sometimes I'm right and sometimes I'm wrong. And then this is what we do. But thank you for showing love and compassion and all the things on the Hot Pass Podcast YouTube. How about that? 140 views at the time of recording this. On average, in the era before last year, so in 2024, we get an average about 40 to 90 views. And to me, that's huge. That's huge for something that I've slowly grown and then took off basically all of 2025 on YouTube. And then to be back in the second episode back on YouTube, we're hitting over 100 views is really, really big. So continuously, please go and support on the YouTube. And before we break down all the liking and the sharing and the subscribing, I just want to acknowledge here for audios and visuals, we cracked open another Miller Genuine Draft this week. And I decided to pre-open it this time instead of spilling the beer all over the the desk again. I had one, what was it, on the weekend or something, and fucking hosed the whole floor. I don't know why they're all shaken up like this. I don't know what I did, but I was like, you know what? Gonna be very smart, very calculated this week. Definitely because we're gonna get into some bets on the backside of the show for Cup Series championships and total race wins. And so we're gonna be calculated with the bets. And we're going to be calculated with the beers, okay? And then those just go hand in hand over the year. And that's just what NASCAR does. Beer, alcohol, racing. Together as one in this wholesome, beautiful, beautiful relationship that we have. So we're going to take a sip of that, and then we're going to break down the like, share, subscribes, all of others. It's not bad. Miller Genuine Draft, 4 times filtered for exceptional smoothness. Hashtag not a sponsor. Because we like the guys over off on my right here, your left, the Beast Unleashed the most. Just because this is what we have in the fridge right now, and I'm going to Atlanta in a few weeks. We're going to pick up some Beast Unleashed on the way back. We're probably going to try and bring back a massive amount. So then we're always good. We're locked in for the podcast. We're full on NASCAR. We're full on Tyler Reddick energy. As long as they're still sponsoring Tyler Reddick this year. Haven't looked into that. Anywho, like, share, subscribe to the podcast on YouTube. Please go and do that. It really means a lot. Comment and liking really helps expand the podcast to new listeners, new viewers, and I appreciate that. Make sure on audio to leave a 5-star rating. Stop what you're doing. Leave a 5-star rating. It really does help out the podcast. If you've already done that, tell a friend about the podcast and get them to leave a 5-star rating and continue to listen and share it with more people. The NASCAR season is coming. The betting shows are coming. I know that you guys love those. You absolute degenerates. Love the Friday morning betting shows. I really enjoy talking about bets, making bets, as well as just talking NASCAR and the statistical side of things. So please go and do that. As well as go to Eric Furlong 21 on Instagram. I just released a reel, as well as on my Twitter at Furlong Eric __ on Twitter, of Ryan Williams, the new t-shirt that he just designed for Kyle Busch and the Lucas Oil team, that they're going to be racing that paint scheme in a couple of races this year. And to be honest, if you go over there and you check that reel, go like it and share it. That t-shirt might will Kyle Busch into a W this year. So maybe we'll take a look if they have a race win total of 1. Maybe that'll get in the Lucas Oil shirt. Go buy it. Support Kyle Busch, but also Ryan Williams, the artist himself. We've had him on the podcast here twice. Go show some love on that and go buy that shirt and support local artists rather than fucking AI absolute dog shit trash. Okay? What else? Action Network. Link is in the bio wherever you find it. Wherever you find me. Link is in the bio. Go to the Action Network. It's free. It's where we put all of our Cup Series Sunday bets early on in the weeks. If you guys are new to the show, if you're not, you guys already know this. But early on in the week, if I have a line that I like or a bet I really like, I'll post it for the Cup Series on the Action Network super early on. If you guys go follow me on Twitter and Instagram, I'll give out like trucks and O'Reilly Series stuff on my stories and everything and on my posts. But Action Network is where you can get all the free bets early on, and then the full Cup Series betting cards every single week, always on there. And then later on in the year when the Truck Series and O'Reilly Series is going on, throughout the week, the Friday morning betting show is where you're going to catch all those bets, all the action, all the breakdown. It's on the Friday morning betting show exclusive. Truck Series and O'Reilly Series exclusive to the Friday morning betting show. Okay, let's do this thing, okay? We've got lots of news that kind of broke throughout the week. I'm really excited about that, and then we'll get the bets on the backside. For example, we've got, let's just start it off with the news of all news and some disappointing stuff. We obviously saw through the football the football weekends that we saw the Daytona 500. Maybe it was about a week or two ago, the Daytona 500 commercial during the playoffs, the NFL playoffs. And I just wanted to talk about it mainly for the simple fact that Fox did an absolute horrible job by using AI. For the audio listeners, I'll kind of break down, and then for YouTube, we'll watch it together here. The audio might and the visual might be a little bit messed up on YouTube. I'm going to try my best to be able to get that all synced up together. We had some issues on the last episode, so hopefully you guys don't hate me for that. I'm sure you don't. Just don't fucking DM me and harass me about it. But we're going to try to get that audio all matched up with the Daytona 500 and the Indy cars commercial for Fox. We're going to compare the two visually, but for the audio listener, for the Daytona 500 Fox commercial, they used AI throughout the commercial. And Daytona, if you've ever watched the Daytona 500, if you have not, I'll just update you. There is no catch fence on the infield, as far as I know, at least where it was, right, in this video. And it looked silly. It doesn't even look like Daytona. And as the thing is now with AI, do we just think, like, do we know if it was actually AI now? Because now AI is everywhere, and we immediately assume everything's AI. Was it AI, or was it an artist just making a complete fault? Or, like, person that puts commercials together, was it a complete fault by them thinking that was in there? But, like, you would use that kind of... I think it was AI. I feel like we're 90% sure that it was AI, and I think it was just a horrible choice by Fox. And then you get the Fox commercial for IndyCar, and obviously somebody tweeted at me, and I already know this, that IndyCar, or Fox does own IndyCar, a part of it, if I'm not mistaken, and they're obviously going to put a lot more money into IndyCar. But NASCAR, my main thing about this whole part that we're going to be watching here and listening to is basically NASCAR. If Fox is going to pump more money, obviously they have a reason why to pump more money into IndyCar, because they own it. I understand that. But when it comes to, my words are all jumbled up here, but NASCAR should hold Fox to a higher standard here and be like, enforce them to put out a good product rather than using AI and just slouching and not putting any effort into selling us the Daytona 500. Because that also just goes into, they brought back the same fucking broadcast team. The same broadcast team. But we'll get into that in a minute. But this just makes me feel like Fox doesn't care about the product that they're bringing to us on Sundays. For the Truck Series is god-awful, and we get that on almost every week. And it is listening to dumb people, like, just talk for 3 hours. 3 hours. Dumb people that it sounds like these people have been in NASCAR for decades, the people on the truck broadcast. And it sounds like when you're listening to it, it's like people that have never watched NASCAR before. And there's nothing wrong with people never seeing NASCAR before and going in and being uneducated on it and wanting to learn. But if you've been Jamie Little, where you've been a pit road reporter for fucking decades now, and then you had Michael Waltrip, that is, we're getting in a tangent here. We'll get to the commercials in a second, and we'll break those down. But I have to get into a tangent of, like, Michael Waltrip. You've been in NASCAR for so long, and you seem like the nicest guy, but, like, you guys are not good at broadcasting. I could get the people from Flow Racing, poach them over. I understand, but pay them a bag to make your broadcast better. It's absolute booty cheeks. So we'll get into more about the broadcasting stuff in a second because we're going to talk about them bringing back the same crew. So anyways, this is the audio, but we're also going to have the video on the YouTube. So make sure to go to Hot Pass Podcast on YouTube here. So this is the Daytona 500 Fox commercial. And then we'll play immediately after. We'll go to the IndyCar season 1. Okay. Okay, so obviously throughout that, if you guys go watch it, go to Bob Pockers, go to Fox Sports on Twitter. Fox NASCAR on Fox on Twitter is where you'll find the video was posted on January 12th. So if you guys can go watch that yourselves, if you're just listening on audio, go watch that. You'll see there's a bunch of clips of AI, and you just go, you couldn't use actual in-car experiences. Now, people were getting butthurt about Ryan Newman's crash being used in that. I don't really care. I understand people get super sensitive. He lived. It's not like he died. He ended up being fine, and I'm happy for that. I feel like you can use that as advertisement. Like, it gets people excited that there's big crashes. If you do, every crash has a risk of somebody losing their life. That's a part of Daytona. That's a part of Talladega. It's a part of NASCAR. It's part of racing. And if we're going to get butthurt about a guy that he survived, yes, and it basically ended his career, but he was at the back end of his career, and now we're going to still years later get upset that we're using that as a promotional tool. Get out of here. You guys get rock hard when it comes to every big wreck, Josh Berry's wreck. We all went, oh my God, I hope he's okay. But we all got like, holy shit, this is why we love Daytona, is because of the big wrecks, the big hits, the fast speed. And when a guy that's beloved by fans around and he's retired, you guys are all going to get upset about using as a promotion. It doesn't make any sense to me. So leave it at that. Stop crying. And you know the NASCAR season's almost back when people are bitching and crying about everything about NASCAR. NASCAR fans are never happy. So, shocker. They're bitching about Ryan Newman's old crash from a few years ago being used as a promotional. So, anyways, let's move on. There was AI out the wazoo in that. Let's go listen to the, and then for the YouTube viewers watching it on video here, okay? This is the Fox, and the IndyCar season starts March 1st in St. Petersburg. The 2026 ad campaign starts today. This is from at IndyCar on Fox, posted by Bob Pockers. Okay, so we'll
meet IndyCar champ Joseph Newgarden.
This is so good.
His neighbors would say he's perfect. Perfect life, perfect hair, perfect abs. But killers often hide in plain sight.
Welcome to the party here.
Shout out to the abs, huh?
See, Joseph once ripped a man's heart out on live TV. His pulse never got above 85. So if you ever do meet Joseph Newgarden, pray to God you meet him here and not here. You want to catch Joseph Newgarden? Welcome to the fastest racing on earth.
That got my dick hard. That absolutely erect. The last 2 years, IndyCar, their commercials have been top notch. And that right there, just how it's so simple. It's so simple, the narration, the video, but then they got the beating heart in there, in his hand, and he smashes it and it's ground beef and he's licking his fingers, and you don't want to meet him here. or whatever it was. You'd rather meet him here than out there. You're like, oh my God, you've got me. I'm watching IndyCar. I'm locked in. Where NASCAR is, we're ready for the big time. AI. We're ready for the big time. AI. Ryan Newman, he crashes. Everybody's butthurt, upset. We're ready for the big time. What was it again? We're ready for the big for the big time. That's what we get. Get ready for the big time. Everybody get ready for the big time. Shut the fuck up. No. Get ready for the big time. It's not big time. It doesn't feel big time. You just used AI, dog. Get ready for the... What is big time about AI, dude? And now everybody's been like, well, you gotta get over AI. You gotta move on from that. Stop being a little pussy-ass bitch about AI. Dude, Kevin Harvick just posted a cringe-ass video of an AI video of his son dancing, and it looked like the kid had the herky jerks. The Tourette syndromes. And there's nothing wrong with anybody having Tourette syndromes. We're trying to get sponsorships here, and we're going to make sure that we all play by the rules here. But I could immediately, watching enough AI videos long enough, I could tell that immediately I was like, what the fuck is wrong with Kevin Harvick's kid? Oh, AI. You could just tell the way he was dancing and how fast it was. You're like, that ain't him. It just looks sloppy. And this is exactly what it does, is it looks fucking sloppy. And they're saying, get ready for the big time. I don't feel like it. I don't feel like I'm getting ready for the big time when there's a fucking fence on the infield because if you're a NASCAR fan, you notice these things, that there ain't a fence on the infield. And you're trying to tell me this is big time when you can't even get the fucking track right in the video? If you're going to use AI, dial it in. Get ready. I want a beating heart and slap that shit on the grill, turns back to ground beef. I want the close-up of Joseph Newgarden fucking sucking on some blood off that shit. Now, not very healthy of Joseph Newgarden to be doing that, like licking the raw ground beef off his finger. He's probably going to get like E. coli or something or whatever the fuck it is. So I'm worried about him and his health. And then going into St. Petersburg, you worry about him being able to get through the race without having to shit himself in a few weeks. So we hope that, we wish him best, and we wish him that he could win the IndyCar championship. But so we worry about the man. But it doesn't feel big time. Now, what also doesn't feel like big time, let's go back to our notes and let's talk about how Fox keeps same old broadcasting team, Clint Boyer, Kevin Harvick, and Mike Joy. I burped. It almost made me sick saying that. Isn't that crazy? What are the coincidences, okay, of me almost absolutely yakking because those are the names I just dropped. It shows you. We have the commercial for get ready for the... I'm done with that. Big time. So I'm over it big time, son. And we get that. We get the AI video. Then you get the same old ass cheek. Fox does not listen to their fans whatsoever. They do not care. The most important thing you could do as a sporting event, a sport company, NHL, NBA, so on and so forth, MLB, is listen to the fan base. Broadcast, listen to the fan base. And what Fox does is they don't do that. And I feel like NASCAR almost needs to step in and go, all right, people are not tuning in because of how bad your broadcast is. People will put it on mute. I wish you could track how many people put it on mute. And have PRN or whatever it's called fucking play the audio or have their audio play throughout the race. And I'd rather have that. Sync that up, the best. I think this is just a stupid decision by them. I really do. It is absolutely god awful. And I'm so just not excited for this. I feel like all three of them, we need a drastic change. We need somebody with a good voice, somebody that's knowledgeable. And when they would bring in, I remember when they were bringing in guest panelists or whatever, and play-by-play commentators, and it was just bad. You'd bring Danica Patrick in, ass. You'd bring in Tony Stewart, ass. Just so boring. There's some drivers that I really like when they're in the truck series, is like Joey Logano. Brad Keselowski isn't bad. Kyle Busch, really. If Kyle Busch retires, they need to get him in there. And we need Kyle Busch to be all in the way he has when he has been on broadcast for the truck series, right? This is for the truck series. And it's very entertaining. I think I specifically remember Kyle Busch doing a truck race last year, and I was like on the broadcast, and I was like, I could listen to this guy talk all the time about racing. Fox needs to pay him a bag and get some good guys when they're coming off the back end of their career and do some great broadcasting. I think Kyle Busch will do great. I think it's just like NBC losing Dale Jr. to Amazon Prime. Like, you got to pay these guys a bag to stick them around, and Dale Jr. brings the excitement. And the fact that we don't get Dale Jr. all year is really upsetting. Half the year is really upsetting. So, but I would really just like NASCAR on Netflix. NASCAR on Netflix. Netflix NASCAR. It just sounds good, you know? Just easy. You could pop it on. Sign a big broadcasting deal like that. Like, once I feel like F1 is up with ESPN, you could see something like that. As long as they're still with ESPN, right? I'm fairly certain they're going to sign with some like subscription-based thing. I feel like, so you can watch all the races, at least here in Canada, would be great. Kind of like what the UFC just recently did. Anywho, not excited about Fox. Big news, man, that came out earlier this week. For the truck race at Daytona, we've got Tony Stewart racing in the fucking, what was it, the 25 for Dodge? And then who do we fucking get? We get the man, the myth, the legend. Now, Brunt Workforce Boots are absolute ass cheeks, okay? We're going to wait. We're going to tell you. If you guys already know, you already know. Brunt Boots, BRUNT, absolute ass. I'm not looking for a sponsorship from them. You couldn't get me to fucking get you'd have to pay me a shit ton of money to back this boot company. Every review I've ever seen, we can't get Brunt boots in Canada, but every review I've ever seen, I wear Red Wings for my construction job, and those are amazing. They're like, do not buy Brunts. If you want like ass cheeks boots that are just going to fall apart and you're going to hurt your feet, buy those. But Brunt is coming on and putting forward together the sponsorship dollars to have Travis Pastrana driving the number 42 Nice Motorsports truck at the Daytona race. And I am so dang excited. Have you ever been more hyped and excited for a race? Come on. Honestly, to be honest, it would be great because it would feel like it would be like Cletus McFarland's like Freedom Race or whatever the hell he has at the short track in his place in Florida, to have like Cletus in a truck. Then you have Travis Pastrana and Tony Stewart. That would be great because they do those races in those Crown Vics. That would be fucking awesome. I want it. I think Travis could do really well. Obviously, it's the truck series, so God only knows how this is going to go, and anybody can win the race. And Travis might be a little bit of a longer shot. Obviously, Tony Stewart's going to be one of the top dogs for betting odds. But like, if you want to just, I always say for these Daytona races, whether it's truck series or the O'Reilly series or the Cup series, is take your favorite drivers. If you do want to bet on it, just take your 2, 3, 4 favorite drivers that you really like in each series and put 10, 20 bucks on it each and just enjoy the ride. Because if your favorite driver wins, it's a really good time. And this is the opportunity where if your favorite driver is like a guy that runs 20-something on back, they have the opportunity to win the race. And it would just be fun to have, say you got a ticket on Travis Pastrana winning the Daytona truck race, right? It would feel good. So yeah, like I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for the truck race. I think it's going to be a great weekend of racing like it always is at Daytona. And yeah, I'm excited. Other news, and this is, I feel like at this point is very make or break for this girl. We saw her in the truck series. We saw in ARCA, if I'm not mistaken, then it went truck series. Then it went to part-time, half season in Xfinity. when the O'Reilly series was Xfinity. And then she went over to like the lower tier IndyCar series, and it didn't really do much at all with that. She's got a great YouTube channel, and we're seeing Hailie Deegan come back. I feel like this is going to be basically it. If this doesn't really play out the way she wants it to, I think it's done. I think it's over. Now, she's got great rides. She's going to be driving a full-time ride with Bill McAnally. I don't know why I always fuck this up. Bill McAnally Racing in the number 16 car in ARCA Menard Series West, back where it all began for her years ago. And then she's going to be driving, I'm assuming, for Bill McAnally Racing in the truck series for a few races as well. So she's now leaving. She's left Ford, where she was diehard with Ford for a long time. Now she's in the Chevy camp. I do feel like this is kind of also a sign that Ford is not a big dog anymore in NASCAR. I feel like they're mainly focused on a bit of the truck series. Xfinity is pretty much, other than Ryan Sieg and some lower tier cars, they're pretty much irrelevant, and they're mainly focused on the Cup Series now. And I feel like this kind of opens up those opportunities for the talks that we're going to be having at some point, possibly this year, about a new manufacturer coming in, which would be great. And maybe getting that new manufacturer in the O'Reilly series. Because a lot of people, like big names like Hailie Deegan, are seeing the end of the road with Ford. And I mean, even my buddy Kyle Steckley left Ford, and now he's in the Toyota camp with Wilson Motorsports in the ASA Stars Tour. And I feel like people are just leaving. If you look at the pipeline for Ford, it's booty cheeks. They literally have like nobody other than you have Chandler Smith and Lane Riggs. That's really like the Thor Sport camp. You really got guys that are just gonna be long time drivers at Thor Sport and in the truck series. They're pretty dedicated to Ford. Ben Rhodes, Ty Majeski, and so on and so forth. So I don't see much coming out of those camps. And so people are kind of bouncing around, and Hailie Deegan has bounced over to Chevy now, and Ford lost at least a name that could bring some sponsorship dollars to cars and some eyes on the Ford camp. And I'm happy for her. I really think that this is going to be do or die. And but I love seeing Monster always supporting her because of her dad and everything like that. And then Napa hopping on. Obviously, Bill McAnally has a great relationship with Napa. So I'm really excited for her, man. I love having her in the sport. I love seeing her on TV. I love seeing, it's just like we're going to get into the Tony Brightinger news. I love having women in the sport. I feel like she feels like there's a lot of pressure on her, but I feel like this time around, just have fun with it, girl. Just have fun with it. I know that there's a lot of money and there's a lot of sponsorship and everything that comes in behind you, and there's a lot of pressure to succeed. And now you're down back in the ARCA Menard Series West, and just enjoy it. And in those truck races, don't wreck the truck. Just drive and work your way through. I truly believe that she has a lot of talent. Top tier talent, no, but talent enough that she could drive in the back half of the top 10, just outside of the top 10, if she just keeps working towards it. Spend a couple years in ARCA Menard Series West. She's still very young, or just in the ARCA series alone, and just bide your time. In maturity and getting older, there's no reason to make those rush moves like she used to. And I feel like this is the time to just take your time and bide your time, and eventually something will come to you. Whether it's not, I don't think necessarily it's going to be a win. But I feel like a lot of those times people ride in the back half of the top 10, and then, and from 11th to 17th, roughly they sit in there, and good things come, big wrecks come, strategy can change. And if you just stay clean and don't be aggressive, eventually something will come. A top 5 might come, a couple top 10s, and you're like, oh, we got some momentum, but don't get over. Don't step too far ahead. Be like, oh, I want more of those. They'll come. Just take your time. There's no need to rush things. I hope she's not at the detriment of shit like Chris Wright. Seeing Chris Wright get a ride last year, what was it, Bill McAnally racing as well at some point, and just like abysmal fucking drives by that short little guy. I saw him at Charlotte, the road course, and I was like, what is that? The guy is like, I don't know what his height would be. I'm 6'2". He's got to be like 5'3". It was a little embarrassing. I don't know why that just came up, but God, that guy freaked me out, the size of that dude. So anyways, yeah, I hope that it plays out well for her. So is my laptop going to die soon? Oh, geez. We might have to like go get the fucking laptop charger. Shit, boy. So anyways, Bubba Wallace also signs a deal with Hardee's. So no more McDonald's. Shocking. But I feel like there was some news last year throughout the year that we kind of heard that this was possibly coming. I also feel like right now with 2311, they're a bit of in limbo with sponsorship because of everything that was going on. Usually in the offseason, you kind of get those sponsorships, you sign those deals early on, and because of the court case and everything like that, they couldn't. They're just. I feel like they're late to signing a lot of these deals and putting pen to paper. Including I think Beast Unleashed is one of those where I don't think it's necessarily finalized as far as I know. And I want it to. I love this company. I love the guys. And so I don't know personally anything about it. I just haven't seen a post about it. So I'm just picking the sponsorships that I know with 2311, where I'm like, okay, so Beast Unleashed was a really big one, obviously because of Homestead. And Tyler Reddick's win to be able to get to the championship race and everything like that. There's a few over the years. I mean, what was it? The one with Tyler Reddick, Pinnacle? It's like an insurance company. I don't think they're in it anymore. He has a different insurance company coming in, but Pinnacle's paint scheme. God, go look that up. Oh my God, just absolutely abysmal. The lamest paint scheme ever. Like I could care less about that fucking paint scheme. I'm happy Tyler didn't win in that car because I don't want to see it anymore. And by the sounds of it, we don't have to see it. But yeah, the sponsorship seemed to be in limbo. So now to see Hardee's on, which is really big. I think it was a multi-year contract possibly. So I'm excited to see that. Also, shout out to Grizzly Pouches for fucking being a major sponsor for NASCAR as well too. We love the nicotine pouches coming in, but we also love just big sponsorships coming in for few years. Helps out our sport, keeps our sport alive for a few years, right? An extra few years. So we love it. Profitability, we love it. We love NASCAR. We love everybody loves nicotine pouches. So shouts out. We should get Zyn. A big sponsorship from Zyn would be great. But they're going to the F1 route because we suck when it comes to viewership. So anyways, need I say more on the Bubba Wallace stuff? Really excited to have a major sponsor with Bubba. You guys all know here, I am a Bubba Wallace fan. Toss the McDonald's stuff to the side. People, we got Hardee's on board. Now, Hardee's, we don't have it in Canada. So I can't really speak too much about a burger, a chicken burger, a fry, or whatever. I can't. We got Chick-fil-A up here now. Really excited about that. We've had Five Guys for a long time, Chipotle, all that stuff. I can't speak on the Hardee's, so we're not going to dive too deep into it. I'm just happy that Bubba's got a big food sponsorship. We love. The weird thing is, though, when it comes to activations for Bubba Wallace, it'll be interesting to see when you get to the north, because I think Hardee's is mainly in the south, no? Maybe it's up north, but I mean, obviously not as many as McDonald's. McDonald's is fucking everywhere. So it's going to suck not having probably as many activations as we used to with Bubba Wallace at tracks where you can go and see him and get autographs. Maybe Hardee's, I feel like, because I think Hardee's is also a big sponsorship for NASCAR too. It'd be nice to see how Wendy's was doing at Talladega and have a little infield thing. It would be nice to have that, and a lot of motherfuckers would be showing up to get signings from Bubba and then go and talk shit about him at the fucking track anyways. Pussy ass bitches. What's nice? We'll move on to the next topic. Corey LaJoie. That's not the nice part. That's not the nice part. Everybody back the fuck up. We don't like Corey LaJoie in these parts. Guy's a fucking douche. I know a lot of shit about this guy that motherfuckers should know. And you'd be like, oh, this guy's ultimately even more of a piece of shit. But he's RFK's bringing back the number 99. Now, Corey LaJoie is going to have to qualify for the race. We are all hoping that he doesn't, but also at the same time, it would be kind of cool to have the number 99 back, and the X-Side car would be fucking sick. We should bring that paint scheme back. That would be fucking fire. Needless to say, Corey LaJoie has got to be able to qualify into the Daytona 500 in the duels. We would like to see it. because of the 99, and Corey LaJoie, always going to be just around, doing maybe 2, 3, 4 races a year. We'll see. Can't get rid of the guy. Ross Chastain, driving the number 32 Jordan Anderson car, part-time in the O'Reilly Series. Cool. I mean, not much to say about that. Yeah. Cool. I'm a big Ross fan, but I just go, all right. Cool. So he's going to be sharing the ride with Raja, and then that's it, as far as we know. And then talk about another girl in NASCAR. Tony Breitinger, big of a shocker. I thought personally over the offseason, I thought about it a little bit because Tony Breitinger is obviously on my feet a lot because I think she's a very beautiful, very attractive woman. Shout out to Tony Breitinger. Tony, if you're ever listening to this, I love you. We should go out for a beverage. You seem like a great person. We could go to Raising Cane's. We could use your discount, save money. Wouldn't that be nice for both of us? I'll buy. But then I put that other money to like a bouquet of flowers, a really nice bouquet of flowers. Wouldn't that be nice? Shoot your shot, boy. Shoot your shot. Tony Breitinger, I thought in the offseason for a while there, like, is she going to be back in that number 5? We didn't hear anything. We didn't know it was only a 1-year contract. She obviously has sponsorship deals, but like Tricon must have just been like, no. In my eyes, I feel like they were just like, no, we can't be doing this. Even if you have the sponsorship dollars, we can't be doing this. It was just abysmal. I mean, even at the second race in Atlanta last year when I was there, like immediately on like the second, third lap, she's behind guys that are usually like breaking down or they're down a lap after one lap, and like after a few laps, and then that's where she was. Now I get it. That was her second race, but she's also in the full-time spot, but she's been in part-time as well before. So it was an abysmal year. I don't know what her average finish was. It was really bad. I like her in the sport. I thought she brought great activations like coach purses. What? We've never seen that before. Victoria's Secret, Sunoco truck was so sick. Her merch, Raising Cane's merch, Sunoco merch, amazing merch. I still want to buy the number 5 jersey on Tricon's website before all that kind of goes away. I hope it's still available. I want to buy some of that stuff because that shit's still fire. I still love Tony. Her driving part-time still kind of sucks, I think, just for the women aspect of the sport. But the question is now, who drives the number 5 for Tricon? Will it be a part-time ride? Just thought to my mind, Nick Sanchez got kind of screwed. And, hold up. Obviously, Corey Heim could pop in there in and out and go back to the number 1 truck as well and kind of bounce around. The number 1 truck has obviously been the revolving one. Number 5 has always had like a full-time driver. But if Nick Sanchez has a sponsorship, I'm going to say it here. That's a prime opportunity for a guy to get into a great pipeline of great drivers, great manufacturer. Do you risk getting jumped from Chevy? You kind of are just at a loss right now. So right now, I'm going to say this. Nick Sanchez to the 5 Tricon truck, I think would be huge. I think that this is your opportunity to move manufacturers when you really don't have a ride at all. I think that this is your one opportunity. Number 5, not always the best Tricon truck, but I do think that this is your opportunity to get in the Toyota pipeline with a great manufacturer and just be available out there in the sport rather than sitting on the sidelines. Please, for the love of God, I want Nick Sanchez to have a ride. That's one name that we just kind of toss off to the side right now. Have Corey Heim in the revolving number 1 truck every once in a while. But please, I think that's the biggest available name out there, other than bringing a guy from O'Reilly Series or a mixed bag of drivers. I think that's the one guy that has a hell of a lot of talent that should bounce to a different camp and be in a full-time ride and bring that. As long as he can bring that sponsorship, I want Nick Sanchez in that number 5. Don't be sitting on the side. He's gone quiet. We've heard nothing from him. It would be nice to see Nick Sanchez get that opportunity. That's all I have to say. Yeah, Jesus. Connor Mozak lands a part-time ride in the Spire number 7, driving 12 races. They got road courses. They got a light car, and then the ovals or whatever. They got a dark car, vice versa, whatever. It's kind of cool. Anthony Alfredo, dude wipes. Use those every single day at the job site because of poopy bumhole and how nasty the washrooms are. We always do dude wipes. He's going to try and make it in the Beard Motorsports, I think it is, the number 62. So we'll hope to God for that. And yeah. Before the laptop dies, should we do a couple of I think that's basically it, right? Can't think of any other news. Well, I mean, right now I'm working with my brother or whatever at another job site, but that has nothing to do with NASCAR, and I'm really excited to be working with him. But let's just get into some betting odds. I promise you guys this. We'll do it fast because the laptop's dying, and I don't want to have to edit and cut this out. Okay? This is for champion. We'll do the total race wins. We'll go driver by driver. See if we like any of see if we like any of these odds. I'm just gonna log in here so I can actually get the actual right numbers here rather than friggin' I think it's metric numbers. So Alex Bowman. Over half a race win, so we'll get one win minus 165. I think he could, but I think his numbers on the chopping block this year. I think as long as Carson Hocevar's fucking deal is up at the end of this year, I think you're gonna see some crazy silly season this year. I think it would be a huge shock, but I feel like people would see it coming if Alex Bowman doesn't get a win this year. So. Time will tell on that one. Austin Cindric minus 110. I don't really like it. We're gonna point Austin Dillon plus 170 to get a race win. That Richmond car, mother of God. I think you're better off just taking him top 10 or whatever at Richmond rather than taking the overall season total. I mean, Brad Keselowski to get one win. His odds are so far like pushed out that I'd rather with a guy like that, I'd rather bet on him at the track, plus 110 for a top 10 or something like that. You can just make your money faster than betting on that. Bubba Wallace, one race win at minus 180. I just don't like the price. Carson Hocevar to get a win at plus 110. His attitude, I don't know. Chase Briscoe over 2.5, minus 150. It's just the prices, Chase Elliott to get 2 wins is minus 1. I do plus 120. I do plus 120 on the under. He's not good at road courses. He kind of just runs average. But at the same time, do you think he brings race winning speed? We'll see. See if they can kind of change it around. He's kind of finding his footsteps. I feel like if anything, he might be able to get one at Martinsville. Because his 1.5 miles. Yeah, he won at a 1.5 miles, but guy ain't doing nothing. Race winning speed? No. Cautions have to run this guy's way to be able to win those races. What did he win in Atlanta? Like, the guy lucks out and wins. So, I don't like that. Chris Buescher, minus 170 to get one? No. Christopher Bell over 3.5 to win 4 races. I mean, he can knock them all off like a bunch of wins last year or whatever at the beginning of the year. So God only knows. 4 wins is a lot, but I feel like he could do it. I kind of like the Kyle Busch. Just give me Kyle Busch. Race wins for Kyle Larson at 5 at plus 145. God, that's a lot. I don't like these bets. I never bet them. I don't like them. Like Tyler Reddick, plus 160 to get 3 wins. Like, what the fuck is that? I mean, the Ty Gibbs one is always the one we're really looking at. We're going, wee. I just want to get to the championship odds here because these are the ones that I feel like we really got to talk about here. We talked about it last week on the podcast about Kyle Larson, feeling real fucking confident. who are the most consistent drivers? Now, I don't have the stats in front of me, and then maybe the guys from Win the Race, my boy Ryan, maybe he can talk about the consistencies. You guys can DM him or use Win the Race. The consistencies of drivers and how they are good at point racing and being able to just be consistent throughout every single week and be at the top. The main names I keep always seeing is Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, and I guess Christopher Bell up there. I just right now as the championships, I feel like you're not getting a better number ever for Kyle Larson rather than plus 500. He brings out a win. I don't think it's going to change much, but if he brings out a win super early on this year, out of Darlington, early on Bristol, right in the spring, he might start fucking running away with it early. As long as in the summertime he can stay consistent and not have the fall off he did in the summer and into the fall and even at the fucking championship race. I feel like Kyle Larson is an opportunity to just fucking run away with this. Just absolutely run away with this year. So I'm not going to lie. A lot of these names, because of the consistency issues, William Meyer, Ryan Blaney is god awful. Chase Briscoe could be a contender, but I like Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott at Kyle Larson at plus 500, and if you can find Chase Elliott at even at 10-1 to win the championship, I feel like it's just a solid number. You could take him whenever you want. Chase Elliott, I don't think is going to bounce off a bunch of wins, so it might drift out a bit, but it's the consistency that you're going to have to pay attention to on a weekly basis throughout the year, definitely through the summer, getting closer to that final 10 or 16 races or 16 drivers, but the final 10 races you have to pay attention to see who has been consistent throughout all year on all styles of tracks and do that kind of math and weigh out everything and weigh out those last 10 races and see who's good where. And it just seems like Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott are always there. Denny Hamlin obviously as well. But with Denny Hamlin is after the death of his father, he is getting older. Does he finally take that step back that we always kept talking about? Oh, he's never stepping back. He almost seems to be getting better. Does he take that step back this year? When will it happen? It happens to everybody, and when will it happen? And I can't trust Denny Hamlin's numbers. So personally, I'm going to be taking Kyle Larson at plus 500. A nice little sprinkle through it, and that's it. I'll dabble a little Chase Elliott. Chase Briscoe, we'll see if he can continue to do what he was doing. I'd rather just wait and see. Joey Logano, very inconsistent. Unless he knocks off some wins and can be consistent throughout the summer, I ain't ever taken Joey Logano unless he rings off some really good finishes and can stay consistent through the playoffs, or through the final 10 races in the chase. I don't see Joey Logano or Ryan Blaney with the amount of DNFs that these fucking guys get, especially Ryan Blaney. I see them not even sniffing close to a championship. I think it's going to be one of those where Ryan Blaney and Joey Logano, even if they get 1 or 2 wins each, aren't even sniffing the top 5 final drivers in points because of the massive inconsistencies that they have throughout the year, with whether it's finishing, just finishing the race, but even just finishing inside the top 15, especially Joey Logano. And Ryan Blaney, with the amount of DNFs that this guy's been getting over the last few years, is absurd. So I think right now, Tyler Reddick could do it, but it's the consistencies. So throughout the year, we'll kind of see him play, look through on a weekly basis. But I think right now the front, William Byron, obviously. I don't like the plus 550 number. I could rather trust Kyle Larson on a consistent basis, just running well. So right now for me, it's Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott, the 2 guys I hate the most. But I just feel like it's the consistency on a weekly basis. So those are the picks right now. The more odds that we get getting closer and closer to the Daytona weekend. We'll obviously touch on the O'Reilly Series and the Truck Series championship bets, as well as bets for Daytona and then throughout the year. So that's been the Hot Pass Podcast, guys. I appreciate you guys always listening. Please go to the YouTube, Hot Pass Podcast on YouTube. Like, share, subscribe to the podcast. I love it if you guys would do that. It really helps out on audio. Wherever you're listening to the podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever, please leave a 5-star rating. It really helps get more listeners and more viewers to the podcast. Please, it helps so much. go to the link tree in the bio. You guys can find my Action Network there. The Sunday Cup Series bets are always available there, and every other sport that I don't really bet on, but other than NASCAR. So, and then the Friday morning betting shows are always have the Truck and O'Reilly series exclusively to that betting show on Fridays. The Tuesday shows are coming up soon as well once the full season kicks off with the Daytona Speed Week. And then what else? Eric Furlong 21 on Instagram, at Furlong Eric __ on Twitter and TikTok. And yeah, guys, I appreciate you guys always listening. We got the Homestead Miami shirt on. We got the Frist Street Tattoo Sparrow Swallow hat on. And we love it. We love you. I love you. We all love you. Thank you for listening. Means the world to me. Make sure to go follow me on social media to be able to see all the videos I'm going to be clipping up and putting out there throughout the year, baby. All right? I love you guys. Thank you.